a Friend. And on the website, it's basically a resource for students who are worried about their friends. So I have information of like warning signs, tips on how to talk to a friend, and also resources for students. So I have different like topics. And so recently I've come out with the topic of how to help a friend with eating disorders or body image issues. So.
What other issues are addressed on the website?
So far there's alcohol and drug use, and then also suicide and depression. And then coming up, there's going to be a unit around relationships, and then also stress and anxiety.
Okay. Why did you decide to make this website?
Yeah, I think I decided to start it because I had friends that I was worried about, and I thought, you know, what is a good resource for students that are worried about their friends, or how can we help people that are worried about their friends? And I think that you can also make a bigger impact if people are getting resources or getting advice directly from their friends rather than strangers or us as volunteers, as CAPS volunteers. It's harder to make a difference, I guess.
So last week was National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, and I know that CU had some events for the week. What do you think, if you were involved with it, were the most effective events of the week?
No, I think, so I think there's lots of different things that the CU campus tries to do, and really, while last week was the week, I think certainly for CAPS we try to look at this as a broader issue, and so we're actually doing events throughout the entire month.
Okay.
With some things that will still be coming up later in the month and even in early April. And I also know that the rec center is doing some work around Wellness U, and so they're doing some events over at the rec center as well that really focus on health.
Okay. Can you describe some of the events that took place and will be taking place?
Sure. So I think it was last week or the end of the week before, Emmy actually, who's our peer educator working on how to help a friend, was able to do some tabling over at the UMC where students were able to come and get information on how to help a friend with eating disorders and just get some resources, and also engage in sort of an interactive activity focusing on positive body image. Yesterday, a couple of CAPS staff members, including myself, were over at the community health event, One Little Change, just held over at the UMC, and it focused on what are some of the small steps that people can take to make even just a small change in their lives. And so we had a station where people students could choose a change, and one of them was around body image and eating disorders, and they could take a body health quiz and get some feedback from a CAPS staff member and have a conversation about their relationship with their body and food. We will have a similar event tomorrow at Williams Village. There will be a table set up with some of the body image health quizzes as well as some stress-related resources. Sometimes they go together. And we also have another tabling at the UMC, I believe on the 21st, where students can also get the body health quiz and get some resources. Early April, we're expecting to have an event for sororities in particular that will focus on eating disorders and positive body image.
Okay. Do you have any idea how many people attended the week's events or certain events within the week?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
yeah.
That's fine. Do you know how prevalent eating disorders are at CU?
You know, well, I don't have the specific numbers. I can say that CU is certainly a healthy, health-conscious campus, and so I think we do see a lot of students that struggle with eating disorders that come in through the doors here at CAPS. But more so, I think, than eating disorders specifically, I think we see a lot of students who struggle at some level with body image and how they feel in their bodies, and feeling really self-conscious about the way that they look or the impact that that has on their sense of belonging and connection here at the university. And so we actually see that as a pretty common concern for lots of different students from a lot of different backgrounds.
Okay. Eating disorders are often like maybe 3 times higher here than the national average. Do you believe that to be true?
No, I don't know if the specific stats are right. I think one of the things that we do see sometimes here in CU and in the Boulder community in general is eating disorders sometimes get masked under healthy behaviors. So people who might, for example, over-exercise or cut out certain types of food might do it sort of saying that they're being healthy when they're really not, taking in the appropriate nutrients or different food groups that their body needs, and perhaps, over-exercising to a level that it's no longer healthy.
Right.
So sometimes that gets hidden.
Okay. And with body image and eating disorders, what is the most common type that you see? Like,
well, I think one of the things that we see the most, rather than, perhaps like anorexia or bulimia, is maybe some disordered eating. So when we think about eating disorders, that's really just one part of the spectrum. It's really a much larger spectrum in which most people kind of land in kind of struggles with body image and disordered eating. And disordered eating can be anything from, again, sort of picking only certain foods to eat, counting calories, a lot of dieting, and things like that. So we actually see more probably in the disordered eating category.
okay. If somebody has a friend who has an eating disorder and is seeking help, besides going to the website, what else can they do?
Sure. So I think one of the best things you can do if you have a friend that you're concerned about is let them know about your concern. Maybe point out some of the things that you're noticing that are different. Come from a place of care. Saying something like, I've been noticing that you're not eating as much, or that you're exercising 3 to 4 hours every day, and I'm starting to get concerned about you. And just starting a conversation can be really helpful. We really encourage students to contact CAPS to get some consultation just about, should I be worried? Should I be saying something? What do I say? And we can certainly provide some support around that. And what a lot of students don't know is that you don't have to make an appointment to come to CAPS. We have walk-in hours from 10 to 4 on Monday through Friday. So you can actually walk a friend over if they wanted some support. Maybe they felt nervous about coming in. You can actually walk with your friend over here and just get them connected. They could see a counselor that same day for kind of that initial walk-in, get some information about resources, and they can see if it's a good fit or not. And if not, we can provide them with other resources on campus or in the community.
Okay. Typically when you're dealing with these body image issues, how do you treat it?
Well, here at CAPS we have a brief therapy model, and so we actually offer 6 sessions per academic year. Depending on the severity of someone's eating disorder or the level of disordered eating, we might do some work for them or with them, or we might also refer them to places like psychological health and psychiatry over at Wardenburg, where they can potentially get more services around eating disorders, or other places in the community. A lot of the work that we do is around body image, for example, and so we'll focus on shifting from looking at just negative body image to health, and how can you appreciate your body, how can you think about body image differently, how can you start questioning what the culture tells us we're supposed to look like, what we're supposed to do, and really taking a holistic approach of looking at somebody's, not just their body, but how do they feel in their body, what's their relationship with their body, how do they feel in the context of their communities because of the way that they look. And so really taking a much larger perspective and holistic perspective to the issue.
Okay. Well, I think that is all the questions I have. Do you have anything else to add?
Sure. I just wanted to mention that I think a lot of people have stereotypes around who struggles with eating disorders or body image, but what we see is actually almost everyone at some point in their lives struggles with body image, including men, people from different cultural backgrounds, and it can include anything from weight and shape, which is, I think, what most people think about when it comes to eating disorders or body image issues. But it also, can be things like, how you feel in your body, your hair color and texture, the color of your skin, gender expression. So it actually covers a pretty big range of things that make us who we are. And so I just want to throw that out there, because I think a lot of people think there's only some people that struggle with it, but it's really an issue that is important for all of us to think about.
Okay, and do you think that's mostly in the United States that like this is an issue, or in other countries do you think it's as big of an issue?
I don't know that it's as big of an issue. It's certainly an issue. I think, it's kind of hard to say.
Right.
I think it varies, but.
Okay.